kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Sim Racing Media. Tonight, the drivers of the ECR NextGen League take on Texas Motor Speedway. These guys are qualifying relatively early in the morning, but we're going to be racing under the lights as well. So we'll see what these guys can do. After last week, we had our first repeat winner of the season in Las Vegas, where Colin Bollinger was able to bring home the victory. First chance for him to qualify after having a few race qualifying bans there, but now he is set to qualify again. We'll see what he can do here in the Extrudex Aluminum Quebec 250 at Texas. I'm Mike Demoni up in the booth. Joined with me, as usual, is going to be Mr. Shane Cochran. Shane, how's it going, man?
I am doing great. Was up all night last night racing at Sebring. A couple buddies from my league. We had a good race. And I am excited to be here. See us racing under the lights at Texas, the Great American Speedway.
Yeah, these guys have been here a few times, and it has been a show. Last year's winner won't be here as he has stepped away from the league, but it was Travis Gilbert, and they ran lights out for the 167 laps. Other than that, Adam Boughton's been the driver who has won the previous 2 runnings here in Texas, so we'll see what he can do here as they're just about ready to wrap up qualifying. But it is going to be, 250 miles here at Texas, so we'll see what they can do with the lights. Everything's going to kind of cool down, so they're going to have grip in the cars. So we should see lots of ability to pass. I don't know how much of it will actually come to fruition here on the track, though.
Yeah, Texas, always a fun track. Turns 1 and 2, a little different, a little flat compared to what you'd normally expect at a Charlotte or an Atlanta track similar to Texas. But turns 3 and 4, much more familiar. You can get a lot of good runs. I think if I had to point out a problem area or a place to watch, it's going to be the exit of turn 2. Sometimes that wall can sneak up on you, or the back end of the car can kick out right when you try to gun it and get under somebody. So be excited to see how they make it down the backstretch.
Yeah, definitely. So you know where people are going to be trying to make those passes, and drivers are going to kind of have that in their back pocket. Looks like we got about 30 seconds left. Looks like Tristan Bailey right now is going to be the driver going to wind up on the pole, as we have, looks like 3 drivers that have not taken a qualifying lap. Jeff Dillon, Sam Boutwell, and Christopher Roth all look like they just got in the session, so not going to get a qualifying time for them. So Tristan Bailey is going to lead these drivers to green when we get going.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I think Adam Boughton's going to be the driver who's won here the most in the past. Still looking for that first points earning win of the season. But I think maybe my slightly out of focus pick is going to be Kyle Diaz. Looks like he's had a couple top 5s here as well, so not to be overshadowed by Adam.
Yeah, definitely not, as they are getting into their rides here. Let's see if we can go trackside for a look here at the grid. Tristan Bailey and Michael Carter are going to lead the front row. John Osborne, Dwayne Furtick back there in row number 2. Row 3, Adam Boughton and Aaron Miller. Stan Carnathan and Kyle Diaz in row number 4. Row 5, Matthew Crago and Tyler Burden in that 06 machine. Just outside the top 10, we're going to have Doug Denise and Colin Bollinger, last week's winner. Robert Roth, Ryan McCall are going to roll off in row 7. Row 8, Kent Mueller and Aaron Spear. Anthony Ludi and Bradley Rivers, 17th and 18th. Row 10, Andrew Chapman and Pete Walsh. Kane Lee and Michael York are going to be in row 11. Row 12 is Gary Nash and Jonathan Cogswell. And the drivers who didn't take a qualifying time, Jeff Dillon, Sam Boutwell, and Christopher Roth are going to line up at the tail end of the field. But that is where they are going to start. We'll see if everybody's going to be able to get in the session here. Looks like we're still waiting on a couple drivers there, but they are set on pit road, ready to start this race here at Texas.
That new iRacing shader model update, looking beautiful here at Texas. The glare coming off the cars, looking real nice. I know we had some issues with that actually in one of our races last week here on Sim Racing Media. It looked like the lights never came on at the track we were at, even though it was a night race, and drivers are complaining, and we were a little confused up here in the booth too, but it seemed like it was just the shader updates. I think iRacing's making some patches here to get that cleared up, but it's looking pretty good right now.
Well, let's hope that they've got it fixed and we can get rolling here without any issues. But nothing ever will compare to the race I called earlier this year from a league we broadcast where it kind of went into the nighttime at Talladega, and Talladega has no lights, so they were racing in pitch black. All you could see was the dash when they get going. So we'll see what these guys can do here as we have the number 9 of Tristan Bailey going to lead them on down here to the start-finish line. He's run fairly well recently. We'll see what he can do as they get ready to roll off here. Pace car is going to make that left-hand turn down pit lane, and we'll be set to go. Pace car is in. Bailey with the button as they hit that Geico restart zone. Green flag is out, and we are underway in the Extrudex Aluminum Quebec 250 from Texas.
Ooh, John Osborne.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Going around on turn 1. It's going to be our first rapid fire pizza yellow flag, and I'd say that one was amazingly fast indeed.
I don't. It almost looked like he just spun the tires there, but let's see if we
Hard
can
to
go
tell.
back
He
and take a look.
started
Wow.
fishtailing and was kind of hoping he'd save it, and he just couldn't quite get it.
Oh, touch that grass.
Listening
Oh,
to driver
Bollinger
radio,
caught up
there's
too.
at least one person asking for a new change of underwear. And he must have been pretty
We
scared.
can see who we can look at here.
A couple big hits there for the 53.
Where he was. Go on board the Home Depot machine. Oh, he was able to get down on it.
Nice moves to avoid that one.
Couldn't find the car that was behind him, but well. First caution of the night here. Like Kent Mueller might have got just a little bit lucky staying at the back. Last week was involved in the first caution as well, so not a trend he wants to be on there.
No, certainly not. Points
Aaron.
leader and last week's winner, Colin Bollinger, in the pits with heavy repairs. Osborne as well on the 96 of Aaron Spear. And Osborne is second in the points as well. So your top 2 point standing leaders are in the pits on lap 1 with heavy damage. This could be an opportunity for Dwayne Furtick or Tristan Bailey, Tyler Burden, all to jump up and seize the points lead. I think they're all within reach if they have a great race.
Yeah, not sure what exactly caused that the 81 to get a little loose. Looked like he flipped the grass a little bit, but when you're racing here, you kind of do that anyway. But looked like he was sliding up the track just a little bit, tried to turn down and just lost control there.
Yeah, I imagine it was kind of a perfect storm. He could have been right on a shift, right on cold tires, and a little bit of grass all together. That's certainly going to lose you some traction. And once you lose it, or begin to lose it in the NextGen Cup car, it's one of the hardest to save and get back going straight.
Yeah, update that steering, and it almost makes it impossible to save. Looks like Spears back on track. Osborne and Bollinger still in the pits. Looks like Roth, Botwell, and Dillon have yet to start the race right now, so they're all three scored out of their cars.
Hearing on the radio, Osborne has about 18 minutes of repairs. Certainly going to make it hard for him to be up here fighting with the leaders, but he could get back and gain some positions later in the race if some people drop out.
Let's try it one more time from Texas. Kristen Bailey with the button as they hit that Geico restart zone. He is down and away, shot like a rocket, and he's got almost 5 car lengths on the car in second of Michael Carter.
Yeah, I'm guessing everyone was a little nervous to get going again, but so Tristan able to take advantage of that and really pull out to a big lead here.
Yeah, and at Texas, it's not near as big a deal as if it was like Daytona or something like that, as they are three wide behind Burden there. Grego, Carnathan, Denise, all side by side.
Very quickly getting single file.
Yeah, wasting no time there. Bailey's out to almost a second lead already with 2 laps under green.
Sure looks like. Oh, go ahead.
So Matthew Crago, fastest man on the track, 29.07 there that time by. So definitely ramping up the speeds as they get going.
And certainly looking like it wasn't a fluke for Bailey to get pole position. He's running away from him right now.
Yeah, no. Kind of watched practice, and in practice he wasn't very quick, but now that these lights are gonna start to come on, getting a little later in the evening here, I do believe his car's gonna have a little bit more grip. So maybe it just wasn't set up for that practice session that they had, but it definitely looks good in race trim now.
Looks like a new scheme there for the 06 of Tyler Burden. I like that. My daughter's favorite 2 colors, purple and green. She would love to see that.
Yep, my daughter said the same thing. I have a pink die cast, and she goes, "You cannot sell that. That is my car." Everybody probably will have a new paint next week when they head to Atlanta for the MLB race paint scheme, or paint scheme, I guess.
Love to see the custom paints. You know, I was just explaining to my wife earlier this week one of the greatest symbols of friendship you can do in iRacing is to gift someone a livery that you made just for them. Really, it's a tight bond between racers. You see the 94 Adam Lawton going 3 wide here with Andrew Chapman down low. Michael York up high, and they just like that, they're back to single file. Chapman really the winner there, passing 2 for 1.
Yeah, he had that huge run down on the bottom lane, was able to get by and clear, and single file right back out here. Looks like Chapman's starting to roll into Michael York and Doug Denise here as they were almost side by side there, trying to maybe get another 2 for 1 as fast as he was closing in there as he goes to the inside.
Yeah, those 2 drivers, the 5 and 25 of Michael York and Andrew Chapman, are the biggest movers in the race so far. York up 12 positions, Chapman up 8.
Yeah, Michael York.
Denise might have. I was going to say, it looked like he scraped the wall just a little bit. Saw some sparks flying there in the shadows. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, Michael York, Ryan McCall, all those drivers there had to avoid that early race incident there, but they were able to do it, and that's how they got majority of their positions here. If I'm not mistaken, Michael York's been hasn't qualified very well, but in race trim, he's got that number 5 Chevy moving through the pack. It seems like every week we talk about him being one of the biggest movers of the race, so definitely not something he probably takes lightly as he puts in the extra effort, it seems, in race trim. Looks like Bollinger called it a night, put that thing on the hauler.
Yeah, again, just big points implications with him being the points leader and Osborne being second place. Both of them not on track right now. You know, if I'm one of these drivers in the top 5, I'm getting excited. You know, this is a time to pounce on that, a big opportunity. But that's also something that puts extra pressure on you, thinking, hey, I've got to seize this moment, and you can make a mistake. So see how they deal with that pressure. Dwayne Furtick now 8/10 behind our leader, Tristan Bailey. Michael Carter in third.
Driver you talked about, Kyle Diaz, ran fairly well last season too, so. Almost have 2 little packs now as the front group is kind of getting away, about a second in front of this next little pack between Tyler Burton, Michael York, Aaron Miller, Andrew Chapman, and Ryan McCall.
Ooh, Aaron Miller tags the wall there as Andrew Chapman dives underneath of him. Ryan McCall looking to make it almost 3 wide. Follow Chapman through there. Not quite able to make the pass. Going to dive it in low. Maybe thought about sliding up. Looks like he's going to make it.
Just clear enough. But while all of that was going on, brought that next little pack kind of towards them as well, led by the 94 Amazon Prime machine. I mean, Texas is kind of one of those tracks where you wind up with little kind of races within the race. And that's kind of what we're seeing now.
Yeah, 22 laps into this run. This is where your tires are starting to wear out. You might be making some enemies in the field. Guy runs you a little hard, gets you in the wall. You're going to remember that for later. Lawton looking inside of Miller. Just peeking inside. See if he can get a run here.
He'll be able to make the pass, but
Looks like Chapman also got by York. Those two still heading towards the front as they're 3 wide with Adam Balton down low. Ooh, and they squeeze it back to 2 wide. Starting to look like maybe the 5 car used up his tires, making that run up through the field, and now he's starting to lose some positions.
Yeah, that'll tend to happen here too. I mean, if you'll see guys that, just drive through the field and then all of a sudden here they come back. And then you have drivers like Bolton there, as he is moving to the front after so many laps. He fell back 5, 6, 7 positions after taking some evasive action, 3 wide here. But there's plenty of room in Texas, as that is probably one of the only corners you can do that to.
Looks like, well, all this battling's been going on through the field. Dwayne Furtick is now just 1/10 of a second behind Tristan Bailey and gaining.
And Furtick just decided he was going to make a move. His lap times have been almost 0.2 of a second faster than Bailey. So maybe Bailey used up his tires a little early, just trying to get away, get that huge lead that he had. And now it's kind of coming back to bite him a little bit, as Furtick might have saved the tires a little bit and has this has a little bit left in the tank here for the tail end of this run.
It's one thing to catch him, it's going to be another to get by. Bailey looking tough to beat so far tonight.
Trying to just stay with him. I don't know that he's in any real hurry to make a pass, as they have almost 1.5 seconds back to Michael Carter and a little bit back to Kyle Diaz and Burden there.
I'm expecting our fuel window to be somewhere in the low 40s, 42, 43, 44. We did have that early caution, so we'll save a little bit there. And there's a handful of drivers who stopped on that caution. They're going to be able to go a few more laps. Andrew Chapman, one of those drivers. Everyone else 30 laps into this run on fuel. And I think if you get your calculator out and check that, it should be a 3-stop race without taking into account any possible cautions.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's going to be pretty close to that.
Hearing on the radio that the 38 car Kane Lee has some wheel damage from some contact back in the field. Don't see anything too obvious.
Yeah, maybe a little right front damage, maybe. Yeah, looks like he got that right front up against the wall, maybe.
Right behind him is a 24 Stan Carnathan, down 14 positions since the start of the race. You know, it wasn't too long ago we saw him racing up there with his teammate Andrew Chapman in the top 15. I'm curious to know what's going on there.
Yeah, I'm not sure there. Pete Walsh, sporting the sponsor of the race, is guess he is the one that sponsored it, but the extra aluminum is on that car.
I do hear there's great fishing in Quebec. A little shout out for any Letterkenny fans. Five car of Michael York is on pit road. It's earlier than I would have expected. A fuel stop. He's gone a lap down after making that stop.
Yeah, it looks like he took 4 tires in fuel, but maybe what she said was right. He used up those tires as he was working his way through the field, and now he's basically paying the price for it.
It's now the 24, also on pit road.
Anchor Nathan down. And he might be having the same issue, because as you said, he was up there racing with, Andrew Chapman, and now he was baited to the tail end of the field. So maybe he felt like he didn't have any tires left, so he's going to come down, get those fresh tires, and then adjust strategy and see what he can do from there. But it does put you a little bit behind the 8 ball, especially with a couple of the drivers pitting with you.
Looking under Kyle Diaz to get into the top 5. Adam did start in 5th, but I think he got caught up in that caution a little bit and lost some positions. He's been fighting to get back there ever since.
Yeah, I'm assuming since he was just to the outside, he kind of got caught up in it at least a little bit, had to check up, went towards the back of the field, stayed out though, didn't have to come down pit lane, but now he is battling inside the top 5. Tyler Burden up 6 spots is going to be the next driver he comes in contact with, as you see Stan Carnathan get back onto the track. Like Bailey's been able to get away just a little bit again.
Yeah, they're really spaced out here at the front. Michael Carter looking outside of Furtick. Tyler Burden back behind them. I'm sorry, that must have been a lap car outside of Furtick.
Yeah, probably Stan Carnathan. It looked like maybe. Yeah, Stan Carnathan.
He's going to unlap himself as well. The fresh tires are certainly faster. I still question whether short pitting is the call, because it's going to add an extra stop to your race. I think if you can make it right about to here, lap 42, that should set you up for a 3-stop race.
Yeah, you're going to want to be at least somewhere in that window. Now Bailey's out to over a second lead.
He seems to have found something here at the end of the run, similar to what he was doing at the beginning of the run. Aaron Miller running 10th. Behind Matthew Crago Jr., Ryan McCall, and Doug Denise just behind him. Cars are looking really, really secure into this Texas track tonight. Other than that first lap issue, someone getting in the grass, we haven't seen anybody getting sideways or locking up tires or anything like that.
No, they've been able to hold their ground pretty well here. Jeff Dillon just went down pit lane.
I think he might have picked up a black flag on entry as well. I think Jeff was one of those cars, didn't quite make the start of the race, came out about 20 laps after we've started, able to gain a couple positions. So it looks like our leader just dove onto pit road. Furtick's going to come with him.
Yeah, Tristan Bailey and Furtick, Burden all coming down.
The driver's radio is on fire with people calling out that they're pitting this next time by. Looks like 46 laps is going to be the number to keep in mind for the rest of the race, thinking about fuel strategy. Lawton's still out there, though. 47th lap here for him.
Chapman still rolling. Should be coming in this time by.
Aaron Miller now assumes the lead. There's only a small handful of cars have not yet pitted. Now, Aaron has been out there since the start of the race, but behind him will be Bradley Rivers in second, Kent Mueller in third. They both pitted under that early caution and can make it about 4 more laps. So if I'm the 15, I'm kind of hoping maybe somebody gets squirrely getting on pit road and catch a caution here and trap a lot of the field a lap down. Because now there are just 4 cars that have not pitted.
Yeah, trying to get something there. At least get them stuck behind you.
Looks like the 90 of Ryan McCall also picked up a black flag somewhere along the pit stop. As our leaders are coming down pit road, the 8 car of Mueller still out there. Nothing wrong with staying out to get that extra bonus point for leading the lap.
Whoa.
Oh no, in the wall is Mueller. It's like he got sideways on pit entry. Got it going again. Not what you want to happen here on the green flag pit stops, especially. Looking like Michael York made it to the lead. He did short pit. We called that out. And it has paid off, at least for now, getting him out in front of Bailey. He's 4 tenths behind.
Yeah, for the moment it'll be all right, but we've got what, 12 lap older tires, so Bailey will probably be past him momentarily, but he might have to take it easy on one of these stints, try and stretch it out just a little bit farther, maybe than he wants to get back at least remotely on the same strategy, because if he stays on the one he's on, he's going to wind up having to pit, I believe, one more time than everybody else.
Yeah, that's what my math is saying too, Mike. Kent Mueller, we saw get sideways on pit road. He's now dropped back to 19th place, the last car on the lead lap. So not a complete disaster there. He's in that lucky dog position.
Yeah, Tristan Bailey made pretty quick work there. Burdick's gonna do so as well momentarily. But I believe with everybody making their green flag pit stops, we'll step aside here as they're single filed out and take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back after this. You won't miss anything here on Sim Racing Media. All right, welcome back everybody to Sim Racing Media and the ECR Next Gen League as we are looking at a battle here for third position. Andrew Chapman, Tyler Burton, Adam Boughton, all battling hard as they're coming through, headed to the backstretch.
Yeah, Chapman continuing his march to the front, now up to third. That's 16 positions gained since we started. I think he's got that front position in mind where he wants to go, being able to match the leader's pace pretty much even while battling with Burden and Boughton.
Yeah, he's been able to make pretty good time here. 29.65. Dwayne Furtick in front of him. A 29.72 last time by, so a little bit quicker.
Always love seeing that papaya McLaren scheme, 51 car. I think, Lando Norris did not have a good sprint race yesterday. Let's see how he does in the Grand Prix.
And we'll see what he can do. He was able to run fairly well earlier in the season, a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Michael York back down pit lane. So sticking to the 33-34 lap strategy he is on.
Well, he's at least one driver looking for an alternate strategy. Maybe, again, I think I'm doubting that one. The extra stop. It doesn't seem like it'd be worth it, but hey, if he's able to gain enough time, maybe it will be.
Now you have to make up 45 seconds-ish, depending on. I don't know that you could do that on track the way these drivers up front are running. But, I mean, I guess if you wind up having a net positive day, it'd be all right. Right now, looks like Kent Mueller is still on pit lane. Osborne's still on track. He's a few laps down, but he is back out on track. That 81 machine.
Yeah, it looks like he took that full 18 minutes to get everything squared away. Rapid fire pizza scheme looks great under the lights here at Texas. Like I said, iRacing with that new shader model, I think I'm a pretty big fan looking at it here tonight.
Yeah, those lights are just shining right off of all of these beautiful paint schemes we see tonight, so definitely a good job for iRacing to bring that to light here.
Boughton thinking about looking low on Chapman and throw it in there in turn one. Chapman gonna hold him down a little bit, stay on that fender, get a run. Not gonna give it up too easy.
Side by side down the backstretch. Still side by side.
Both of these drivers, trying to get to the lead, but racing side by side like this is only going to let Furtick and Bailey get further away from them. They need to decide who's going to go first and who's going to follow if they want to catch the leader.
Yeah, Bailey is over 3 seconds in front of this battle right now, and Furtick is almost 2 seconds in front of it. Settle down there. Looking back through the timing and scoring to see any other battles on track, and it doesn't look like it. Looks like this is the only real battle on track. Everybody else is pretty single filed out and pretty spread out here around Texas. So
We're 75 laps in now, and I'm just so impressed with these ECR drivers. Keeping it out of the wall. Nobody getting squirrely. Nobody really making any contact other than that first lap incident. Making Texas look easy.
Nathan coming back out of pit lane. He's on a little bit different strategy as well. Pitted on lap 35 the first time. Made it around here to 75. Little battle back here for the 10th position. And he's taking it away from Robert Roth.
And those drivers being very courteous over the radio, saying thank you and you're welcome.
Back to battling up here for the 3rd position.
Yeah, we've got race cars on a racetrack. Might as well do some racing. I think these two are more concerned with who's going to be 3rd and trying to get in line and catch the leaders. That's okay. More fun for us to watch.
They definitely were almost leaning on each other just a little bit, trying to drag each other back so they can get that run. And the driver behind him, Tyler Burton, is like, please, by all means, fight it out. Let me get closer so I can get that 2-for-1 special and get up here into 3rd place and try and battle Furtick for 2nd.
Yeah, looked like Blotten might have given Chapman just a little bit of a door bang there. You can only drive side by side with someone for so long before it just starts to get on your nerves.
That's the worst part, when you know you're just a little bit faster, especially in certain areas, or you're a little bit faster after you clear them and get back on your line, and you just can't quite make that pass. That's what starts frustrating drivers, and that's what usually leads to a little bump here or there, and we'll see what happens here as these guys are still side by side.
Burton thinking about looking low. Not quite going to make it there. Yeah, this has just really allowed Furtick to gap these three. Now almost 3 seconds ahead.
almost 3-second gap, and then Burdick is working around a little bit of lap traffic is what he kind of had it. Looks like he was able to get by Pete Walsh there, put him a lap down, but still 3/4 of a second behind Tristan Bailey. Tristan Bailey has been driving lights out here tonight.
As he comes up on another lap car, we have just 16 cars on the lead lap now. All these green flag laps. Bailey's able to run him down. The next car will be the 88 of Gary Nash.
And Nash trying to stay out of the way there.
As always, if you're Gary in this position, you're just hoping that Bailey doesn't pass another car, but maybe you can catch a caution and be in that lucky dog position.
It looks like he has a little while before that happens, but yeah, you're exactly right. You want to stay in that lucky dog position in case something happens.
Tonight's race not really trending that direction, though.
No.
We're now over halfway through our race, 82 laps to go. The lights are on here at Texas.
Yeah, so they've raced here 3 times in Texas for a total of 451 laps. And out of those 3 races, they've only had 5 cautions.
Wow. Hearing over the radio, Chapman's going to be pitting this time by. He's dropped back to 5th place behind Burden. Might have used up his tires battling with Lawton.
Furtick, Chapman, Miller all coming down.
Oh no, I think Chapman picked up a black flag, maybe speeding on entry. That's really going to hurt him.
Bailey coming in. Yeah, he's got a black flag. Kyle Diaz going to be coming in. Let's see if we can take a look real quick. See what happened with Chapman coming down pit lane.
Yeah, I think he might have made a little contact with Boughton. It was just behind him.
Oh. Flipping and sliding. Maybe unsafe pit entry? Carter in. Grego in. Gonna lead over to the 40 Toyota. Dug beneath.
It was actually 2 different things. There was contact with Boughton about a half lap before. Adding it into your queue here, Mike.
Let's take a look, see what we can see.
Looks like Chapman got tight, had to lift, and
Oh,
Whoa, what a save.
Wow.
So he might have had some dirt on those tires as he came down to pit the next lap. I saw him having some trouble getting pressure on the brakes and getting slowed up.
Made the late decision to come down pit lane too.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was just speeding. Now sitting one lap down, back in 19th position. I think he's going to need a caution or some other circumstance to get caught up back to the leaders.
Cycling through here. So Dwayne Furtick came down on lap 87 and is right now the first car to have pitted, running P2 right now. But the gap between himself
Yeah, look,
and
Bailey
Kristen.
had a very, very long pit stop.
I wonder what happened to
55
Bailey.
seconds in the box. I don't know if he picked up some damage somewhere. Let's see if I can take a look.
While you're doing that, yeah, I was gonna say, where did Bailey go? I thought he only pitted like a lap later. See what we can find for Kristen Bailey there, but Furtick gets the lead. York in second, up 20 spots for that number 5 Chevy, but he did pit on lap 66, so I imagine he's gonna come down probably any moment now. Kyle Diaz up to third, Aaron Miller and 94. Not about me. Little battle brewing back here towards the mid pack. Prego and Bradley Rivers. Rivers getting by.
Seeing any obvious reason why, but yeah, Bailey's stop was just very long, about a minute longer than I would have expected. Didn't look like he had any damage. He was in the lead when he pitted.
Speeding maybe?
I didn't see a black flag. I mean, again, it's just a long stop. He didn't come in for a drive-through penalty or anything like that.
I scored 15th place. He's the second car a lap down, too.
doesn't look like they're doing any repairs. Don't have an answer on that one, Mike.
Anything either. So.
As we see, Furtick now in the lead. Kyle Diaz now in second place. Everybody on the similar overall strategy, but some people come in 2 to 3 laps earlier than others. Right now, Furtick 2 laps older tires than Diaz in second, but with a pretty good cushion. Almost 5 seconds back. And our friend Michael York up to 6th position, but he is 38 laps into his run, which means he's late to pit for his strategy.
Yeah, he's off strategy, but he's even off his strategy. We'll see what he can do as Burton gets by. But up front, Aaron Spear was able to get by Furtick there, so now Kristen Bailey is the first car a lap down, so if a caution were to come out, he would be the beneficiary at the moment.
Yeah, I think I'm halfway cheering for him just to get back into the, close to the podium so we can interview him and ask what happened.
Yeah, especially if you didn't see a black flag or anything. I mean, the only thing I could think of is if he was speeding on pit lane, that's the only reason why you're stopped 50 seconds or more. But York coming in, so stretched it a little bit there. Yeah, I don't. Oh, caution did come out. Caution is out.
Oh, Chapman, pretty torn up on the front end. Also heard at least one driver on the radio very upset about it.
Walls give him a little tap. Oh, what in the world?
Oh, I am. Imagine that. I think it was the 59 of Robert Roth came cruising through there, and Chapman and him made just a little bit of contact as he went by.
On board here.
Yeah, on the radio, Chapman seeming to think he got, pushed and turned into the wall. From our view, it seemed a little bit net Cody.
As everybody's probably coming down pit lane. I mean, he got touched just a little bit, but he was fine, and then all of a sudden he turns right. It's not like...
Yeah.
I mean, Walsh was off his bumper before he turned. And then this is what Roth was mad about, that he didn't hold his brakes and slid down the track and basically took up 3/4 of the track. So
Well, we made it 110 laps, really without any incident. There it seemed like a difference in tire freshness. Had some speeds a little different. Certainly don't think there was any malintent there. This should reset a couple folks' pit strategy here. I don't think anyone can make it all the way. So we should be in a one-stop situation, but you've got a pretty big window to decide when to make that one stop.
yeah. So Adam was just on pit lane for almost 2 minutes. Tristan Bailey is going to restart in 13th now, so definitely look at that 9 machine to make a run here.
Chapman still on pit road with a meatball flag. Now 4 laps down. It's gonna certainly take him out of contention. Yeah, I'm wondering if Boughton maybe still had some damage in that contact with Chapman, taking this opportunity to get it all fixed up. As we're back, green flag with Dwayne Furtick out front, leading Aaron Miller and Kyle Diaz.
Sure, everybody was a little nervous on that restart, but we are good here. Aaron Miller trying to get second. Kyle Diaz, Michael Carter, Tyler Burton.
We just spent 100 laps, mostly single file. This is unfamiliar territory again. We're going to see 2 and 3 wide here on this restart as folks try to set themselves up to get a great finish.
Kyle Diaz getting a little pressure on the outside from Burton. Carter and Doug Denise starting to battle as well. Bradley Rivers pulls to the bottom, going to make the pass on Denise.
Yeah, where has Rivers been all night? I feel like we haven't seen him up this far until just now, and he looks like he's got some speed.
It looks like he's found something in that number 15 Chevy as he is moving to the outside now. Kyle Diaz pulls down, goes to the inside of Aaron Miller.
Yeah, this 55-lap run here to the end also makes an opportunity where you don't need to save tires as much as you have all race long, especially if you're planning to split it right down the middle. It would be almost a half of a full fuel run.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of those pit strategy type races if we stay green to the end. And we've seen what pit strategy can do for some drivers as Dwayne Furtick took 4 tires and basically tossed away a win because he was set up to win, but a couple drivers took 2 tires and he found himself back in second place.
Furtick with a little bit of a gap back to second, but those next 5 cars are all right on top of each other.
Yeah, those 5 cars are not going anywhere. Driver who is moving in the right direction, just broke the top 10, is going to be Tristan Bailey, up 3 positions from where he restarted. Now he's got Matt Craigo and Anthony Ludi just in front of him. Ooh, bouncing off the wall, looked like 84 of Cogswell.
Cogswell having a decent race here in the top 15. Didn't qualify well, but he's up there giving it to him.
Yeah, one of the biggest movers of the race, already up 10 spots, so net positive for him right now as well, as we're getting a little more racy up here inside the top 10.
Oh, I think Burden wanted to get inside of Aaron Miller. Couldn't quite make it stick. I'll line him up and try again next time.
And nobody's really driving away from anybody at the moment. Couple tenths here or there is all. Burden still sticking his nose to the inside there of Miller, and he's going to get there this time.
I think knowing how much of a gap Bailey was able to get earlier in the race, you've got to think, hey, I need to be within reach of the leader from here to the end to have a shot at winning. There's no time to waste. Miller fighting back on the outside. Just not going to give it away.
Well, we're seeing some great side-by-side racing here tonight. For multiple laps, multiple cars as well, as it looks like Burden is finally going to clear. Miller's still hanging there, though, hanging tough on that high line. Kyle Diaz pulling down to the inside of Furtick, going to try and test him down low. Not quite enough speed to stay there, but Burden able to move up into third. Rivers following him through, going to be fourth. Aaron Miller fifth. And now in camera view is that 9 Chevy of Tristan Bailey.
Yeah, he's doing everything he can to get back to the lead. You know, I always hope when you face adversity, you get a little bit of Kyle Busch syndrome. Felt like Kyle always raced his best when he had a mistake early or an issue that put him behind where he knew he ought to be, and he was able to battle back. Let's see if Tristan can do that as he works here on Doug Denise.
That is one of the best.
Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say, he doesn't seem to be in too much of a hurry. Although there, he thought better of sticking it inside of Doug.
Yeah, Doug pulled off the bottom line, and he went to stick his nose in, and Doug went right back down to the bottom. But what I was going to say, that's part of the reason why I like the older cars is, you know, you could do a little beating and banging and, you know, a little damage here or there, and it'd still be at least drivable, and you could see drivers get back out on track and try and drive back through the field. But any more of these cars get hit a certain way, and that's the end of your night.
Yeah, it's kind of a conundrum, right? I think the gap between 0 damage and some damage seems bigger for the next gen car. But once you get any damage, it seems almost catastrophic.
Bailey able to get by.
Yeah, you just got to wonder who's saving a little bit, who's going all out. We're now 39 laps to go. We are in the pit window. From here, you could make it. I think you want to wait till probably around lap 30 to 25 to try and split this final run in half. Get the freshest tires possible.
Yeah, I imagine we're going to see drivers come in probably a lap around, what, 140? The 27 lap sprint to the end.
And I'm sure there's somebody out there thinking, hey, 2 tires might be the way I can sneak my way up there.
Well, I've seen it where drivers, especially on these runs like this, if you feel comfortable with your tires, run it until you don't. Come down, get a splash of fuel, don't take any tires, and sometimes your car's all right.
That's true. I think you could probably come down with just 8 to go or so and get that splash. It's not going to take much fuel. Certainly save you a little more time overtaking the 2 tires even. Kind of hoping we see a little bit of every strategy so we can see which one plays out the best.
Looks like Kyle Diaz is starting to fade a little bit, or Bradley Rivers is coming on strong in that outside lane.
He sure is. Got around Burden just a few laps ago. Now looking for P2. They have some momentum there on the outside. Just 3/10 behind Dwayne Furtick.
Rivers has been running a different line than almost everybody else. He's 2 or 3 lanes up through the corners, and it has just been working fairly well for him as he is now running P2. Kristen Bailey now got by Michael Carter for P6. '94 coming in. What his strategy is here. Into his box he goes.
Looks like he's at least getting right sides.
Right side's only.
Yeah.
2 tire stop.
Coming up with some lap traffic.
Rivers going to
That's
go
the
down to
88.
the inside.
Yeah, Rivers in great position here. And I think he's due for a good run. He hasn't had a top 5 yet this season. Sitting in 11th place in points. I know we're still early in the season, but you want to be in that top 12 a little more comfortable knowing you're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely want to feel a little bit more comfortable. It looks like that's the 47. Yeah, Sam Batwell finally was able to get to his rig and get some laps on track. Rivers is still staying in that high line.
Seems to be working for him. At this point, why change? It's getting you up there. I'm sure it's wearing his tires differently. It looks like he's maybe a little loose in the middle of the turn. but that's not a bad thing with this next-gen car. Sometimes you have to be loose just to get it to rotate.
Boutwell is all over inside outside. I don't know that Furtick realized he was a lap car or not, because he was just trying to keep him behind him, probably to, you know, play a little defense there with Rivers as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're 84 laps down. I don't think the leader is expecting you to be pushing that hard, but better to play it safe, give him some space here when you're battling Rivers. And Tristan Bailey now up to third on the move, joining the party.
Tristan Bailey is going to stick his nose in this battle for the lead momentarily here.
.28 to go. We're now dead center of this 55-lap run. I know somebody's going to start pitting soon. Looks like Furtick coming down this time. Leaves Rivers in the lead. Tristan Bailey and Kyle Diaz right behind him.
They heard something about some issues on pit lane, but it looks like everybody was able to get down.
Yeah, I think it was just a close call with someone coming to pit lane and didn't hit their radio button hard enough to call it out. Don't think anybody had any contact though. Rivers now coming down pit road. That leaves Tristan Bailey back in the lead once again. And kind of like we've seen all night, Kyle Diaz not in the lead, but right there within reach all night long.
Yeah, Furtick, Cogswell, Burden all spent less than 10 seconds in their box.
Seems like two tires is going to be the favorite strategy. And who's going to have the nerve to try something different?
Got 25 to go. Kyle Diaz is going to be coming down this time by as well. See what Diaz or Bailey does here. Two tires and go.
It looks like Rivers took 4. He's going to say, I want to be on the charge. I don't want to be defending. Let's see where he comes out. Looks like he'll be probably 9th once they cycle through. Showing both John Osborne and Aaron Spear with black flags. Had a little radio chatter there. Might have gotten in the grass on pit entry. Now we've got the 18 of Michael Carter is in the lead, and Michael York in the 5 car is in second. They don't have to stop for another probably 7 laps.
Yeah, they don't have to. Last pit on lap 110 and 107. Dwayne Furtick unlapped himself there. 18 coming in hot. Michael York going to stay out though. Michael York has just been off strategy all night long.
Yeah, Michael Carter also picking up a black flag in his pit sequence. Seems like very few drivers have had zero issues all race long. We've had leaders with long pit stops, we've had black flags, damage. I think maybe the only car that hasn't had a major issue is Dwayne Furtick. Currently running second, 18 seconds behind Michael York, who's yet to pit.
He's going to have to pit soon, I do believe.
42 laps this run. Might be the only person in a position to try the splash strategy, but he is losing a lot of time on old tires. About a second and a half a lap. He is losing to the rest of the field. I think at this point he's really just holding out for a caution.
If he's going to just want, I mean, he's going to wind up going to the tail end of the lead lap from the pit times, it looks like.
But yeah, sometimes when you gamble, you just got to go all in and hope it works out. Again, a couple different pit strategies here. Boughton and Cogswell, I think, were the first ones to come in. 7 laps ahead of everyone else. They're running 5th and 6th. Bailey waited the longest, I think, to pit of anyone. He's about 2 laps ahead of most of the folks. Bradley Rivers on 4 tires, currently in 8th place.
Yeah, that 4th tire call might be a little bit of a detriment, as everybody else has went with 2, but see what he can do driving on 4 tires.
Yeah, it looks like he and Aaron Miller are both on that 4-tire strategy, and they are 4/10 of a lap faster than the drivers right in front of them, but not really that much faster than Furtick, Burden, and Bailey, our top 3. Rivers now up to 7th. As Dwayne Furtick assumes the lead. Burden there just out of frame. And Bailey hot on his bumper. 13 laps to go here at Texas.
All 3 of these drivers have the same pit strategy, taking those 2 tires and hoping it all works out here with 12 laps to go, and less than a second separates the top 3.
Comes that 47 car again. This time the lead lap car is on fresher tires. And let him go nice and easy.
And he let the leader go nice and easy and slid right in front of second place. So slowed him down just a little bit. The gap is still within less than a second. Bailey drives to the bottom, going to try and get by Burden, and he will do just that.
Nine laps to go. Does Bailey have enough time and fresh tires to track down Dwayne Furtick? 0.6 of a second between them now.
Looking at lap times, about the same.
I don't know. Looks like that time he got at least a 10th on him. He's been, looking at that graphic, he's been faster than him every lap for the last 5 laps. Gets 800th there with 7 to go. Got my calculator. I think that means you need 0.06 of a second per lap to get him right at the checkers.
I think once he gets a little bit closer, he might be able to get a little draft and probably help him just a little bit here. 7 that
There's
time.
Now it's going to come down to it. Yeah, you get that draft on the straightaways, but it takes away your clean air in the turns. Let's see if maybe he tries that Bradley Rivers line, just about a car width and a half up. Oh, they're going to set us up for a great finale, Mike, with 5 laps to go. 0.3 of a second gap between first and second.
They are putting on a show. Lap traffic staying to the high side.
Ooh, that hurt Bailey. Caught him at just the wrong moment. Couldn't get up to the wall. That didn't stop him from gaining another 500ths.
500s, and it looks like he drove it in a little bit harder there. If he can close up the gap some more here.
I think he lost a little this lap.
Yep.
Gave some back. 3 laps to go.
Burdick trying to hang on to get another win. Bailey trying to battle to get another win as well. A little back as well.
Seems like Furtick has just been slow and steady all race long. We've seen Bailey kind of come and go with his speed as his tires wear out or don't. Don't know if he has enough left. 2 laps to go. Giving it everything he's got, just an inch off the wall.
Yeah, 1 lap to go here. White flag is out. He is going to have to drive as hard as he can for this final lap. Hope something sticks or be satisfied with second place.
Going through the final turn. Bailey not going to have enough. 51 of Dwayne Furtick brings it across the line here in Texas for the Elite Cup Racing League. Tyler Burden is third. And the congratulations are showering in over the radio for Dwayne Furtick.
But you can't hold your head when you went a lap down during the race and still were able to come back and, you know, and be there at the end. I mean, he spent almost 2 minutes on pit lane with that penalty or damage. We'll ask him when we get him up here in the booth, but to come back in like 0.3 of a second, I mean, that's a heck of a run.
Yeah, I gotta wonder if that lap car that kind of kept him from getting all the way to the wall there with 3 or 4 laps to go kind of killed his momentum. But yeah, nothing wrong with P2. Trying to get a bit of a team formation here.
Yeah, Southern Alliance Racing showing up at the end to congratulate the 51 machine.
Yeah, it's the 88 of Gary Nash, 38 of Kane Lee. Hey, if I can't win it, the next best thing is get over there and do some burnouts for my teammate who did.
Let's see if we can get Tyler up here in the booth for you. Go, Shane.
Tyler, you got Shane and Mike in the booth. How you doing?
Doing all right. How are we doing, boys?
Man, what a great race to watch from up here in the booth. What was it like out on the track?
Intense, sweaty, code browns, and let's see. Yeah, that pretty much encompasses all of it in one go.
Yeah, you had about 105 laps of green flag racing there in the middle. No chance to catch your breath. It seemed like you were able to be up there fighting with the leaders, but just out of reach. What was it they were doing that you think was keeping them from getting you to the lead?
Well, part of it's probably because like I didn't get much sleep. Today was my niece's birthday. She's 8 years old today, so I work nights, so I had to sleep, and I didn't sleep at night very well. I probably only got 3 hours of sleep. Drove an hour and a half to my mom and dad, celebrated her birthday, drove back an hour and a half back up here, took an hour nap, if I got it, got on here, got real sweaty, and then yeah, it wasn't a good deal. Exhaustion and exerting yourself. What people don't realize is these direct drive wheels, they take a lot out of you. Like, I've raced cars in real life, and that will zap the energy out of you, and this is about as close as you get to it. So I'm exhausted. I want to shower. I want to crawl into an ice cold bed. But that's pretty much all I want. All I could get. I was just trying to make sure that we got to the end. I almost got taken out in a couple different situations. Adam almost got me going into the pits. And then him and Tristan got into it and almost wrecked each other before that. And then I seen a car parked in the middle of the track, and that's about the second time I've had to avoid a car using the racing surface as a parking lot. So, yeah, that as far as what I could really do to go get them, I don't know. I'm just ready for bed.
Well, yeah, get that hot shower, get in that cold bed. You've earned it. I want to give a great happy birthday to your niece. And we'll see you next week. Nothing wrong with getting on the podium here with ECR.
All right, thanks, guys. Make sure to check out Humanities 101.
Yes, sir.
All right, Tristan, Mike in the booth, man. How's it going?
What's up?
Not much. Well, that was a heck of a run you had there. We couldn't figure out what happened to you to have to spend so much time in the pits. So what happened?
Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that, man. Oh man, dude, the car did not slow down, so I like sped. I was so mad. I was like, well, this is over. And then I got that caution, and I was able to drive up to third before everybody started doing the pit stops, I think. And then I guess I should have just pit when Dwayne did, because he did the same thing I did, took 2 there. I don't know, it just seems like once you got close to somebody, it affected your right rear front more, and it was like a bubble almost, it seemed like, because whenever I was in the lead earlier in the race and he was right behind me, it's like he couldn't exactly catch me. I don't know, man. I just wish I didn't speed. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, definitely. But it looked like you were coming through the field pretty quick. Looked like that lap car might have caught you at just the wrong, or you might have caught that lap car at just the wrong time. Wasn't able to get up to the wall. Cost you a little bit of time there in those closing laps. But, I mean, other than that, you've got to feel fairly well with the way the race finished after, having that speeding penalty there and still coming back to get second.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I'm happy that I ended up coming out home second at least, instead of being stuck a lap down like I was gonna end up being. But yeah, I just wish I was one spot better. That was all.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, congrats on P2. Anybody want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Thank Doug Denise for the paint, and my teammates at Eon's Motorsports and Motorsports Club for helping us out. We all got together at the beginning of the race there and practice and tried helping each other with breaking points, bias, and all that. So, thankful for them.
Definitely, Matt. Well, congrats once again, and we'll see what you can do at Atlanta.
All right, thank you.
At Shane, I will get you Dwayne.
Wayne Furrick, this is Shane and Mike in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, guys, I do.
All right, man. What a race. We saw how fast Tristan was early on. You were able to hold him off at the end. Tell us how you did it.
Just clean air, guys. Clean air. Clean air is king. I was super aggressive on the pit stops. I practiced that quite a lot during practice, and it paid off.
Yeah, I think you're certainly right. We saw a number of drivers getting some speeding penalties, some unsafe pit entries. I think that was absolutely a key to tonight's win. Who you got to thank and give some shout-outs to?
Well, I'm going to thank my teammates, Southern Alliance Racing, South, Kane, Ryan, Justin. Whole group is amazing. This number 51 Dell Logitech G machine is just an awful feeling. Great rebound from Motegi. During that race, I had the car to beat, but I took 4 tires and it cost me. And this is kind of my redemption.
Yeah, we saw you took 2 tires on that last stop. Was last week kind of stuck in your head while you're making that decision?
Absolutely. Learn from my mistakes.
Yeah, sure seems like that paid off for you. Congratulations again. Great run, great win. We saw a lot of good racing. How were you able to make it through all of the carnage that seemed to be happening even after that long 100-some lap green flag run?
Just try to stay in front of the pack.
That's one way to do it. All right, Dwayne, we'll let you get out of here, and good luck next week. Congrats again.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
So that will do it for the interviews. We'll go ahead and go through the race results. Burdick, Bailey, Burden, you heard from those 3 drivers. Aaron Miller got up there with a P4. Bradley Rivers rounds out that top 5. Adam Boughton, Doug Denise, Jonathan Cogswell, Anthony Ludi, and Robert Roth are the top 10. Matthew Crago, Kyle Diaz winds up finishing P12 after running towards the front. Gary Nash with 14th. Kane Lee, Stan Carnathan, Pete Walsh, Ryan McCall round out that top 18. 19th is Aaron Spear, Michael Carter, John Osborne after the first lap spin winds up 21st. Andrew Chapman, Sam Batwell, Kent Mueller, Jeff Dillon, and Colin Bollinger round out the field that were able to at least take a lap here tonight. So we'll put Texas in the rearview mirror and head off to Atlanta next week. Jane, anything you want to say before we get out of here tonight?
No, this feels like deja vu. It seems like the last week and the week before we have these long green flag runs, and then cautions really shake everything up, and it comes down to a tire and fuel strategy race. Just really exciting finish. So tight. I'm excited for next week.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what these guys can do when they get to Atlanta. I'm sure it's going to be a show as always. But from all the drivers of the ECR Next Gen League and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, I want to wish you guys a good night. And we'll see you next week at Atlanta.